ladies and gentlemen. It must be Tuesday night. This is your TampaBay Thunderstrikers live show, broadcasting from the WZIG 104.1 FM radio booth, located inside Snappers Grill and Comedy Club in scenic Palm Harbor, Florida. And now the host of the show, Joe D'Angelo.
Well, thank you very much, my producer, Devin Stopford. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Snappers Bar, Grill, and Comedy Club in beautiful Palm Harbor, Florida, and I'm joined once again by my Tuesday night co-host, Byran.
Why, thank you, Joe. What a tremendous weekend we had over the week.
Yep.
Awesome. I enjoyed every minute of those games.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. So before we get to the lightning news, we got to tell you about the toy drive. Right now, we kind of need some help. And I'm reaching out to the members. We have toy drive boxes that need to get delivered to these locations by the weekend. So we really need to push. Okay? This toy drive is going to go from the 17th of this month. So we have to have those boxes to all locations by the 17th. From the 17th to the 17th of December. So December 17th, actually the 16th is the deadline, because the 17th is when we're taking the toys to the location of Q105 Radio and Mason-Dixon in St. Pete. So we definitely need to hustle. We need some helpers to get those boxes to the locations.
Any volunteers would be nice.
Yeah, volunteers are definitely needed. We need to get those boxes to the locations, and quite frankly, we don't have really a lot of time. We don't have that much time. Today's the 12th, tomorrow's the 13th. We got till the 17th. We got to get it done by the 17th. So this is what I'm telling you. We got to reach out to our members and say, hey, toy drive box needs to go to this location. Toy drive box needs to go to that location. And we got to get it done. We got to get them all to the locations by the 17th. So that's the mission, my fellow Thunderstriker members. That is the mission, is to get those toy drive boxes to the locations. Because a lot of these people are waiting for the toy drive boxes so they can fill up toys.
They are.
So there's our objective. We're going to do it. Because every time we are faced with deadlines, we come through.
That's right, we do.
Yeah, so very important.
Even if we have help, so be it. As long as it gets done, it gets done. That's the main goal here at Thunderstrikers. We got to get the job done.
Yeah, just like we got to get a couple of radio gigs. We're going to work on that. We're not going to give up on that. And, we're going to try to build this up as much as possible. And, we can do this. And that's why we're doing it, is, because of this. And just to remind everybody, I want to congratulate Zachariah Miller, who won the Member of the Month. And thank you very much, Zachariah, for doing such a great job and covering us when we're not in the studio, whatever, and we're on vacation like we were. He filled in really, really good, and that really helped, right?
That really helped, yep. We got everything we needed from him.
Yep. So he filled in really, really good, and we were able to make sure that everybody got the coverage that they needed. If they couldn't watch the game, they had the chance to, get updated on what's going on. So congratulations, Zachariah Miller, for being the member of the month.
Tremendous live feed, by the way. Tremendous, if you haven't seen it.
And we're going to remind you a couple of times during this hour telecast that the call-in number is 727-474-8786. That is the number to call. You can call in from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and we're here in the studio, and we're going to take your questions or listen to your opinions or, whatever. You know the drill, the way that goes. We've had several people call in, and we thank you for, just reaching out to us and, helping us out. Like I said, this is very important that the toy drive is the biggest thing for the Thunderstrikers each and every year. We need to get those boxes to the locations. We have small cars, so that doesn't really help when it comes to fitting in as many boxes as possible. These boxes are pretty decent size. So, like I said, I can only get in about 2 boxes at a time in my car. So makes it a little bit difficult. So other than that, great job while we were out of town. The shows are really rolling good. Happy with the way the shows are going, and we're gonna hit the bolts. We're gonna start talking about the bolts now because that's pretty much really the only community thing that I wanted to talk about, just to make sure that's a priority. As you guys know, the toy drive is the most important thing for the Thunderstrikers each and every year. So, my co-host, what do you think about the bolts? And are we on our way or what?
We are. I honestly think we are. We figured something out those last 2 games. Of course, unfortunately, I did not get to witness them on TV, but I did hear them on the radio because I was working. The first period, of course, was pretty bad for the Bolts. Buffalo in the first game had all those shots, but we mastered through. We came through. We ended up winning the first one. The second one was the same way. They had a lot of shots, but we powered through at the end, scoring 3. Our boy Pat Marone, almost a hat trick. I was so excited for him when that almost happened. The only thing I think we still need to work on, though, is the stupid penalties. That's the only thing.
Yep, exactly. Penalties. And, that's important. And, Pat Marone has been doing the job. He has been the biggest asset for the Bolts right now. And, just to get you updated, Pat Marone won Player of the Week. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
I'm so happy about that. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. He needed that.
And, as far as I'm concerned, he's been the steal of the year so far. I mean, Shattenkirk and Maroon both have been outstanding. Outstanding. How could you expect any more? It's Maroon and Shattenkirk have been keys to this team, and we're on a roll.
And the only reason why I say stupid penalties is because we let Buffalo get under our skin.
Yes.
I heard great call by Esposito, always. The first game wasn't as bad, but second game was the worst, where Buffalo really got under our skins and we took stupid penalties.
Right.
Great call by Esposito all the time, saying why getting on the Bolts all the time. Why are we taking stupid penalties?
4 penalties.
Don't let them get under our skin.
Yeah. And we had 40 shots on goal, and we had 4 penalties. So, that's a lot. And I'm just happy for our backup goaltender that got a win again. He had 40 saves. The guy's save percentage is .930. Alex Killorn said after that we played a complete game. The more you play offense, the better your defense stats are going to be. If you're playing a majority of the game in the offensive zone, you're really helping yourself out, and that is key. And, I could see the chemistry starting to come back now that we got Victor Hedman back, who's a huge asset.
Huge asset in that series.
I mean, Victor Hedman's one of, if not the best defensive player in all of hockey. You put him back on, and you got Maroon and Shattenkirk doing their jobs, doing amazing. Yanni Gord is turning it on right now. I like what I see, and, we just got to keep on rolling. I mean, Buffalo is no stinky team. They are a pretty decent team.
Yeah, we may be Bolts fans here, but we got to give credit due to the Buffalo Sabres. They are a good team.
Yeah.
They are a good team.
They are a good team.
I think, will be a playoff contending team this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a wild card. They'll slip in. So, and you know how wild card teams are.
Mm-hmm.
They're dangerous.
Yeah. Well, the Bolts record now is 8-5-2. And we're playing the Rags, or otherwise known as the Rangers. Rangers are 7-6-2. They're under 500. They beat us last time, but they beat us without a couple of our key guys. This time it's going to be different with our key guys back, with Victor Hedman back, with Maroon back. I'm predicting victory on Thursday night. Then Saturday we got Winnipeg at 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
That's going to be a good game. Winnipeg ain't no slouch.
Yeah, they are good. And forget about Tuesday night's game. That's against St. Louis. We won't go that far. Let's just take advantage of beating the Rangers, a 500 team if that,
At best, yes.
and the Winnipeg Jets, who are definitely tougher and better team than.
Who are in shambles because they can't find a good owner.
Yeah, it's pretty bad over there in that situation. But I'll tell you, I'm just loving the way the Bolts. The last two games are. I see that with Hedman back now, that does make a difference when you got Victor Hedman back in your lineup, defensively, offensively, and everything. So I like that, and we talked about some of the situations, some of the problems that we were having, and everything. The penalties are still an issue. I mean, we had 4 penalties in that game against Buffalo, the second game. They need to just clean it up a little bit, and I think by sending Witkowski down, I think that took one of our players that has been guilty of, sitting in that penalty box for long periods of time. You can't have that. You just can't have that. You can't have players sitting in the penalty box.
No, because it'll come back in the end to haunt you.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah. So I like what we did. Alex Volkov was sent down to the crunch. Obviously, it's a numbers game, and you can't keep everybody. So Alex is going to go back to the crunch, and he's going to continue his skills. And he did very well. I think he did very well. I think he impressed John Cooper. From what Cooper said, he'll be back.
So I gotta ask you both, what do you guys think of the games internationally? Do you like what the NHL is doing with that?
Well, me personally, I mean, if you look at our schedule, all the days off, and then you play a game, and then you get all these games off and everything, and I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know.
Wow. I can honestly say I'm in that same boat because to me it just adds. I get they want the game to be globally, just like any other sport does.
Right.
But travel time is a killer on these players.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're going to have with these series. I know most of these players are through it anyway because they're from those regions.
Right.
But it just takes time off the travel, tires out the players. We don't need it, especially if we're trying to push for a playoff spot. Especially if they did this around come playoff time, these global series, it would totally beat up a team.
Right. Well, I mean, the Lightning responded to the adversity, and they went in there to Sweden and they won both games against a tough team. I mean, Buffalo is no slouch, and we beat them handily, pretty much handily. And having Victor Hedman back again, having our key guys hurt, especially in the Ranger series, we did not have some of our key guys as well. So, this is going to be a different story. They're going to be in our house, in our sold-out arena. Not many arenas sell out like our arena. I mean, we have over 205 sellouts.
Yeah, not even the big market teams sell out. So that's
yeah.
Keep it strong, Tampa. Keep it strong.
And that's one thing, Tampa's representing. This is a hockey paradise. This is a hockey town.
Because you ain't going to find these sellouts in Detroit, which is the so-called original hockey town. But you ain't going to find that. You ain't going to find sold out seats that much in Detroit nowadays. Mm-hmm. Even in St. Louis, even though they're Stanley Cup champions from last year, they're still having trouble selling out.
Right.
I mean, you gotta love it here.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we got a great hockey organization. Our owner is one of the best in the world. And, unlike some of these other owners that are a joke, I mean, if you look at some of these owners, they're horrible. And, Vinnick puts a contending team each and every year on the ice. Since he took over, this team has been year after year knocking on the door, and granted it hasn't knocked down the door yet, but when you get Hedman back in your lineup and a Maroon and all these key guys and they start gelling together, that's when we're going to be unbeatable, is when we start to gel together. And Andrei Vasilevsky isn't getting all that much support from the defense. And, you can't blame Vasi because, he's a Vezina winning goaltender and the best in the business right now.
And
so
you want to know why I think all these owners hate us? One, we don't tank like them. We don't believe in that term tanking that's been going around in every single sport.
Right.
we don't believe in that.
Mhm.
2, they're very well. Vinnick is very well with the community. He loves what he does with us.
Oh yeah.
He's one of a kind. He'll help out anybody.
Well, let me shove some stats down your throat here about Mr. Vinnick. And anybody that
Go
doesn't
ahead, shoot us with that.
anybody that doesn't know this gentleman, he is one of, if not the best owners in hockey. He probably is the best owner in hockey. Because this is just a sample of what he's done for this organization. Vinnick offered a surprise of his own on this Saturday's Community Hero Program, has donated $18.9 million to the Tampa Bay area charities since he took over the team in 2010. And with Saturday's game against the Sabres, and that was, the first game, they considered that a home game. He gave his usual $50,000 grant at the Globe, which is the arena there, with the money going to the Stockholm Ice Hockey Federation. It will help local youth programs prosper. And this is what Vinnick believes in. You got to start somewhere with these hockey players. And guess what? It all starts with the local youth programs. And that's where Mr. Vinnick and his wife donate all this crazy money to this organization.
Especially if you want to do like the game globally wise with all these events out there.
And as Fox Sports Florida and Sun Network says, Tampa Bay Lightning owner Jeff Vinnick continues his charitable work even when he's across the pond, the NHL Global Series. So no matter where the Lightning are, whether they're in Tampa or no matter overseas or whatever, Mr. Vinnick is still giving this money, which is incredible. This man is absolutely incredible, and that's what makes him the owner that he is.
You didn't hear nothing about Buffalo's owner doing that, so where is he at, huh? Come on, people.
Yeah, you just can't compare the owners. I mean, you look at the Rangers owner, he's crap. Dolan, he's a joke.
He is.
He's got the Knicks are just like so pathetic right now.
He needs to sell both teams.
He needs to sell the Knicks and the Rangers and get rid of them.
And go back to his Broadway.
They're not winning anything. They're not going anywhere. Neither one of those teams are going anywhere or doing anything.
Not with him.
That's the bottom line. So Dolan sell the team, and as I've said many times before, I'm not just talking. I mean, we're talking hockey right now, obviously, with the ownership, but Dolan owns the Rangers and the Knicks, and they're both just not good. And they haven't won anything in years.
And they're never going to. He just needs to sell both teams and go back to his Broadway gig, which is what he's been doing.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, if I was a Rangers fan or a Knicks fan, and I grew up watching the Knicks, so I'm kind of like a Knicks fan, but I don't get into basketball. But still, I mean, when I lived in New York, the Knicks were my team and everything, and Dolan came along and just totally screwed up this franchise.
Oh yeah, and this I know we don't talk basketball much, but for him to say that free agents want to play there,
no,
what, dude? They don't want to play for you. You've shown that you don't want to win. You don't draft right at all. You don't find the right players. No wonder why Phil Jackson couldn't win anything with you.
Yeah.
No wonder why he wanted out.
Mm-hmm. And of course, while the so-called some of these Lightning fans were calling for John Cooper's head not too long ago, and the team, has responded to adversity right now. Cooper's changing the lines. He's experimenting the lines, and everything takes time. They're so young into the season. There was panic from all these fans. What kind of fans are you? You're panicking about the start of a couple of games. Big deal. How many times, you see these hot teams like the Islanders right now, some of these teams, they're not going to be this way all year long. You have 82 games. You're not going to go 80-0 or 80-2 or whatever.
Well, I know.
That's not going to happen. You go on winning streaks. Every team can go on a winning streak. I mean, hell, some of the worst teams in hockey go on losing streaks.
That talk has really died down quick, hasn't it?
It has, because you know what? I haven't heard any Cooper thing since the end of the series.
And like I said, back to local radio. Who were they calling for? Majority of them. Local radio was calling for Cooper's head, saying he was the reason.
Well, when we go local radio, and we will, I'm not going to do that because I just don't speculate. I tell it like it is, and I tell it with facts, figures, stats. That's what our rule. That's how I roll, and I don't mess around. That's telling it like it is and telling facts. What time we got here? Oh, we still got a little time yet before we go to intermission. So Cooper had said that Volkov did an excellent job. He has good skill, and he gets the pucks in and out, and he'll be back because Volkov deserves a shot, and I think he'll be back. Vanderway is still with the team, which is kind of surprising because he's been scratched. They've even been scratching Colbert a couple of times too.
Yeah, I'm shocked about that.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to get away from a little bit of the physicality that they've had, and it's always putting them in the penalty box. So maybe they're just trying to, break away from that a little bit.
Or do you think it could be they're just trying to, as well, since they got all that talent down there, see who fits best?
Well,
and try and sell them off as trade bait, maybe.
Well, that's what a good coach does. When they're losing, they change the lines, and that's what Cooper's doing. He's changing the lines. He's seeing who goes good with who. Like I said, the best defensive player in all of hockey, Victor Hedman's back. And when you don't have him, you have defensive struggles. You have Vasi continuously getting raped in front of the net. Same thing with McKinley. Same thing. He was going through the same problems. We did not have our key players without Hedman and without Maroon, and that makes a difference. Now you see that they're back and they're winning, and that's where the chemistry comes back. And I know this team pretty damn well, and I predicted it, that they would get their butts together, and in the end, they will win. And
I wasn't worried. I knew it would. I knew they would too.
Yeah.
Like I said to you before on this show, I truly believe last year they don't want to have that start again because they want to save it.
It's in their heads.
They want to save it for playoff time.
Yeah.
And that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah. You can go 40 wins in a row. I don't care how many wins you win in a row. I don't care how hot you are, 9 in a row, 10 in a row, 12 in a row. I don't give a damn about that because, all that matters is you want to be there come playoff time and you want to get the wins, but you have to go through your high and your low. There's no such thing as again, I have to bring this up. Look at St. Louis last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
St. Louis was in last place.
They were.
They weren't doing nothing.
Halfway through the year, I might add.
They
were thinking about trading all their key players away.
Including Maroon.
Including Marone at the time.
Fact.
And they were talking about getting rid of their coach at the time. And look at that.
That sounds
look what
funny,
happened.
So St. Louis comes out and totally dominates after the All-Star break. Totally dominant, wins it all, pulls it off. And that's why, St. Louis was nothing more than under 500. They were playing under 500. They sucked.
And a change of goal, too, helped them out, too, a lot.
Yes, it did. So that's what you do when you're a good coach. When you got Cooper's record, which is pretty impressive, if you look up John Cooper and you look up how many wins he has and how good of a coach he is and how good of a winning percentage is, the man's won everywhere he's gone. And his record is impeccable right now. They're not going to get rid of him. I don't care if the streak would have continued. They weren't going to get rid of him because their owner believes in him. Vinnick gave him a vote of confidence before the Buffalo series saying, we're going to get Hedman back, we're going to get Maroon back, and we're going to get back on track. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're getting back on track, and we're going to beat the Rangers on Thursday, and we're going to keep this momentum going. And the John Cooper talk is going to shut the hell up because it's not credible. It is not credible. It is not even realistic to get rid of this man after all he's done for this team. The winning percentage is there. He's a winner. Vinnick's not getting rid of him. So bottom line, You're stuck with John Cooper as your coach, Lightning fans, whether you believe in the man or not. I'm a John Cooper believer, so, that's all I got to say about that. Do you believe in Cooper?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, who else are you going to bring in?
There's nobody to bring in.
We've asked this plenty of times on the show.
Nobody.
To the same people who say cut off his head and fire him. Who else are you really going to bring in? I want to know.
Yeah, that's been.
Please call in.
That's been the
Let
biggest
us know. I really want to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know myself. Yeah. So that's pretty much first half of the show. We're gonna give it to our producer. He's gonna let us know who's coming in the room, who's been in the room, and we're gonna go right into the end of the first half of the show. So, Mr. Devin.
Well, we appreciate y'all for watching. We are broadcasting live here at Snapper's Grill, 104.1 FM radio booth inside Snapper's Comedy Club and Grill in scenic Palm Harbor, Florida. And now we will get to the people in the room. Valerie Lynch, Ron Pisco, of course.
Radical Ron.
Jason Riddles.
Radical Ron.
Zach.
Ronnie.
John McAmee.
Hey, John.
And Brittany Nicole Richmond.
Hello, Brittany.
And you can give us a shout
Hey, baby.
at the 727-474-8786. So, back to the host.
Okay, we're going to go over some of the Lightning stats right now. And, you be the judge on how good this team is. Goals. Steven Stamkos has 5. Kucherov has 5. Palat has 5. Shattenkirk has got 4. And Point's got 4. Points. Stamkos 15. Kuch 13. Shattenkirk 13. Point 11. Hedman 11. And assists. Stamkos has 10. Shatty has 9. Kuch has 8. Hedman has 8. And Sergachev has 8 on assists. So, and of course, Vassie and McKinley, despite the terrible defense, they've mustered through this tough time. The last 2 games, both goalies got some help defensively. Of course, when you have Hedman back, that makes all the world and the difference.
Well, yeah, it saves on laxative giving up goals like Kucherov did that third goal. But hey, it's all good. We were already up. The game was almost over. But still, kudos to Esposito for good call. Good call and getting upset with Kuch. It was hilarious. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you're backed up against the wall. There's a tremendous amount of pressure, and I've covered this. There's a tremendous amount of pressure in Tampa Bay right now. And, with those anticipations, like last year we just totally dominated all season long and, got to the playoff in the first round and totally sucked it up. So that's why I say it doesn't matter. You win 10 in a row, 15 in a row. It doesn't matter how much you win. You have to play consistent, and you have to be consistent with your players. Cooper knows what he's doing. He's changed the lines. He's got Hedman back. He's got Maroon back. I think really this team is going to take off, and that is my belief.
Yeah, what's the assist stat that Shattenkirk has? I heard I forget what it was on the radio. I heard it Sunday. Mm-hmm. They said it. Michigan and Esposito. Mm-hmm. What in the last 4 games he's been in, how many assists has he had?
A lot, because during the 2 Buffalo series, let's see. Hedman and Maroon lead to sweep. Game 2, let's see, Maroon had his 2nd goal of the season. Then he had his 3rd goal of the season. So he had 2 goals in that game. And obviously, Yanni Gourde had his 4th. And Joseph had his 4th as well. So there's a couple of guys that are at a consistent level of 3 or 4 goals each. Pat Maroon got number 1 star in the game, the last game. So he's been on fire. And again, I told you, Maroon and Shattenkirk have been catalysts of this effort.
But
this
yeah,
season.
like I said, I know it was some. I wish I could remember. I know it was some crazy stat they were
Yeah.
talking about, but
Mhm.
it was something. He had like 4 or 5 assists in the last 4 or 5 games. So something crazy like that.
Yeah, that's how good he is. The Lightning had, first of all, the Lightning had 69% of the faceoffs in Game 1, which is very impressive.
Yeah, considering the fact that we had this season we've had trouble with that, winning the faceoffs.
Exactly. So that's a key stat right there. You know, you can't ignore that.
We were like 25th, as I said last week on the show or something. We were like 25th coming in.
Yeah.
Compared to last year when we were like, I think in top 10.
Mhm.
We were top 10 in faceoffs won.
It's looking good for our faceoffs. Hits wise, we're getting a lot of hits. I like I said, I think one of the reasons why Butkowski is down back on the crunch is because, you know, we've been very, very physical and our guys are getting hurt. And that's how Maroon got hurt. It's just Butkowski had to go down, and we wanted to see what else we had. So that's why, you know, that's the reason why we brought up the kid and we gave the kid a shot. But, you know, our guys are getting healthy again. So, you know, we need to make moves. And Ruda is still on the roster. Shen is still on the roster. So I think Cooper likes playing Ruda and Shen. And, you know, the defense is, we're at 8 defensemen right now and 12 forwards. So Cirelli, Gord, Johnson, Joseph, Killorn, Kucherov, Maroon, Palat, Cedric Marquette, Point, Stamkos, and Verkaway, who's still with the team. But he's been scratched. I don't know why he's. Volkov was sent down. Verkaway is still on the team. Shen and Ruder are still on the team, so I don't know.
Do you think he's just a healthy scratch, or
Yes.
why is Coop not playing?
Coburn was a healthy scratch. So, you know, some of these guys are healthy scratches. When, you know, when we want to play one of these guys and change it up a little bit, you know, somebody's got to go on the bench, and they're healthy scratches. So Coburn was an example of a healthy scratch. Verdaway was a healthy scratch. There was nothing wrong with him. He just got scratched. You know, Cooper is trying to find the right formula. And the only way you find the right formula is to let these guys play, not your everyday guys. You know, every once in a while you got to switch it up. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to find the right formulas and the right lines.
And
Bottom line.
And that is what we need.
Yeah,
We
that's
need
what we
the
need.
right lines.
That's what a good coach does, is when a team is going good, you keep the recipe for success going. But when you slump,
It's sure a job I wouldn't want, though. I mean, when you got the talent we have, that's pretty tough. I would not want that job. So, Coop, kudos to you. You're in a tough spot.
You're not in a big market. You're in Tampa Bay is not a big market, so you know you wouldn't think that there's a lot of pressure on the coach. But bottom line is, for the last couple of years, the Lightning have been favored to go all the way.
There is, because of the national media. The national media is pushing.
Yeah,
that's why. That's why there's a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah. And the same thing goes for this year. They're the favorites to win it all this year.
You look at shows like ESPN and Fox Sports and all those others.
Wow.
All those other national accounts, they're all over us.
You know, I don't really, you know, whenever those MSNBC games, I just turn the volume down and I listen to my crew on the radio because nobody's better than Dave Mishkin.
No. If he would do TV, that'd be awesome.
Mishkin,
I can see him.
Mishkin
I can see him on TV.
He's the man. He's the man. I've met him many times. I've talked to him. He's a great, talented radio announcer, and it shows.
You think possibly he'll take Peckham's spot?
I don't know what they're doing with that. There's been no leak to what their formula is going to be for next season, but we wish Rick well. I mean, you know, he's been on there for 45 years as a play-by-play. He's been with the Lightning a long time. So, sooner or later, you have to make changes, and somebody wants to retire, so let them retire in peace.
I could see him totally going to the booth. Michigan would do TV, and Chelios would do radio.
Yeah, she's just worked her way up, and she's
awesome.
She's awesome. She
awesome.
Really is. She really
All the
is.
games I've heard, awesome. She knows her stuff, knows everything.
Of course.
Love it.
When you're surrounded by, Brian Burns and some of, the Lightning beat writers, you're going to, be talented. You're going to know all the information and everything because you're hanging around these people. That's what they do for a living. They do stats, facts, figures, just like I do. So they know their stuff.
Plus, I think too, isn't she like the first announcer to be on a team? I don't think any other team in NHL has a female announcer, do they?
Well,
I don't think so. I haven't seen any.
She deserves it. She's awesome, and another person that I love talking to when I'm at the games, when I see her. She's awesome, and she's talented, and she's put in a lot of work working around the Lightning organization, and she deserves what she gets, and we'll see what happens with what changes they make. Like I said, I haven't heard the leaks on who's replacing who's going to be on that for next season, but we're not worried about that right now. Right now, our focus is to continue to win, keep the chemistry going, and get us a cup in 2020. And that's the focus. That's where we need to be. That's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, I wasn't worried.
Yeah,
I knew we'd get out of this.
It's just that is a huge part of the problems that have been haunting the Lightning this year. Is the adversity. Something that they didn't face much last season. The playoffs come around, and you know what happens. To the Lightning last year. Who could have predicted that? Nobody. But you know what? That's fresh in their head right now. Realize that never gets out of their head. They know what happened, and they're not gonna go through that again. They're gonna get it done this year, and we just have to keep the guys from getting hurt too, because that's huge. You got a phone call, Mr. Devin?
You got a phone call. What's up?
Now, you really didn't think I wasn't going to call in, did you?
Oh, I knew you were going to call in.
Hey, how was that workout?
Can you hear us?
I think he should be able to.
You should be able to hear us.
Hey, Byron, get off the cannabis.
Joe wants to know how that workout was.
I'm doing fine.
Good. That Planet Fitness is working.
Yeah, I heard you got a new membership. Yeah, so it's going well for you. How much you pay for it?
$10 a month, brother. $10 a month.
Oh, look at that. We're advertising for Planet Fitness now. That's true. You don't. But it's healthy.
Keep it in that reason that you use to cut your neck with, too, by the way.
Hey, they don't get much more handsomer than this.
Byron, look at him.
Wow.
Hey, go get the bone and cut your hair.
Hey, what happened to your nickname for him? Now you got a new nickname for him, Mr. Cannabis?
What?
You got a new nickname for him,
Yeah.
Mr. Cannabis.
Yeah, you got a new nickname for me? I thought it was Mr. Peabody.
Give him a man bun.
Hey, what happened to Mr. Peabody?
Well, he's still Mr. Peabody.
He just got a double nickname.
Mr. Cannabis. I live with one too.
He definitely looked like it today. He looked a little stoned. Cannabis Peabody. That's his new name.
There you go.
I'm gonna write that down.
Cannabis Peabody.
I like that, Ronnie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're gonna visit the studio soon?
Cannabis Peabody.
When are you going to grace us with your presence again?
Did what?
When are you going to grace us with your presence again?
Hello, Linda Murphy.
Well, it depends. You know, I'm trying to get over being sick. You know what's going on.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I know. I know firsthand. Been there, done that.
A little better every day, though, thank God.
Yeah, it takes time. It definitely takes
You
time.
know, I feel like a fucking rabbit on steroids with the fucking amount of lettuce on me.
Oh, that's healthy for you. Lettuce.
What?
That's supposedly healthy for you is lettuce.
Yeah, well, I still feel like a fucking rabbit on steroids.
A rabbit on steroids.
Yeah. You do know that Don Cherry, his ass was fired, right?
Yep. Yep. We saw that.
You go, oh, finally, you bring it up now. See, I had to bring it up. See, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're slacking.
That isn't my job to report that. This is a lightning show.
Yeah, well, I don't give a shit what show it is. Don Cherry, you're fired.
That's funny. That's funny.
Way to channel your Vince McMahon, Ronnie.
That's no surprise, though, Ronnie. That was expected.
Way to channel in your Vince McMahon there. You're fired.
Listen, don't make me call
UPS man. UPS man.
Yeah, I'll give you a special delivery. I promise you that.
He's not wearing brown tonight.
Oh, he's not?
No. No.
Well, yeah. I guess he left his closet uniform home.
I was never wearing brown. I don't know where you come up with this brown.
Hey, how did you get the nickname? How did you get that nickname?
Oh, right away, you gotta throw it to Devin. I got it, dude. You little fucking half-breed Peabody son of a... just got real now, just so you know. Now, listen. I am going to correct you on something that you talked about. I'm going to correct you listen very carefully to the radical one. It does matter on win streak because them win streaks carry in points for the year. They do matter. Oh, and by the way, just for the record, not only do I have to worry about a certain team, you better worry about a certain team because guess who's coming out of nowhere?
Your Islanders?
No, I'm not worried about the Islanders.
Washington Capitals.
I am worried about another team.
You're worried about Are you worried about the Washington Capitals?
No, I'm not.
Then who are you worried about?
You will not believe what I'm about to tell you.
I'm listening.
You will never hear the Freebird Flyers are coming out of nowhere. They are now third in our division. Out of nowhere.
Okay.
I was going to say, I was hoping you weren't going to say Montreal Canadiens.
Fucking northbound Freebird, snowbird, half-bred, deep-bred asshole. Hollywood, you want some fucking spring water?
Trust me when I say this. The Flyers are just doing like they did last year. They're teasing.
Who?
The Flyers.
The Flyers didn't do shit last year. They didn't do nothing. They were junk. They were garbage.
I have to agree with you on that one, Ronnie.
They're not going to be. They're not.
But I'm going to tell you right now. The Capitals, they're definitely a team to worry about.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sabres are definitely a team to worry about.
Who?
The Flyers are a team to worry about.
Sabres? The guys that we swept?
No. It's weak. I don't want no Boston. I don't want no Yankees in my damn league anymore. Get them out.
Yeah, but what's the record of your Islanders, though? What's the record of your Islanders?
word about my Islanders. They're on a mission. 23 points out of a possible 24 in 12 games.
12 games out of 82 this season. Anything can happen, and hot and cold.
Not even at 82 games anymore.
It's called hot and cold, and every team goes through winning streaks and losing streaks, my friend. Every team.
Yeah, well, at least my team's doing that on U.S. soil.
And it doesn't matter what soil you beat anybody in. A win is a win. And we swept Buffalo Sabres. That is a very good team that we swept.
And you barely won that first game.
It doesn't matter, barely. We won 3-2. Barely means nothing.
You think that one is?
Barely means nothing in this sport. You either win or you lose. There is no barely. How do you figure barely?
I will totally fucking freak out if the fucking Reds beat them again.
I do have to agree with you though, Ronnie, that the point system does come up at the end of the year. That's very key. I do have to agree with you on
but
that.
winning streaks happen, losing streaks happen. The Rangers, the Islanders, it doesn't matter. You win 12 in a row, you lose. They can lose 12 in a row.
We won 10, we lost 1, now we're back on a winning streak. It counts with the points.
It's going to happen, though. There's going to be a time. There's going to be a time when your guys are going to lose 5 in a row.
I'm sure they will. And I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But you know what? We might as well get points while we can because it'll beat us in a good spot.
Yeah. And that's it. We don't have to worry about, the Washington Capitals, they're hot right now, but who knows? They could run out of gas too.
So then, Ronnie, is that your team to win the Metropolitan then? Is the Flyers?
No, that's not my team, bitch. That's yours.
Ain't my team. I'm just saying, you said surprise team, so you said surprise team.
Well, not for nothing. You're gonna have the Montreal region, so don't worry about it.
Oh. We won't go there.
So then who do you got then winning the Metropolitan then?
I don't think he heard you.
I just did.
Oh, he's fighting with the Ranger fans.
Unfortunately, and I hate to say it, I think the Capitals are going to take it for the Metropolitan division again. I really do. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I hate to say that too, but I don't think they will though. I think it's going to be a close race. It might be. I hate to say it.
Mr. One Tooth must have got a shot of steroids this year because he's on a mission.
He's a good player. Yeah, they're on a mission. They are on a mission. No doubt.
Yeah, well.
No doubt.
Kind of like up chuck, it's over chuck.
Well, I'll tell you. We have fun on this show. We really do.
We do. I love it.
But we'd rather have you here than over there.
And on Skype.
All right. Well, I'm going to relax. I got to go for blood work in the morning.
All righty there.
All righty, Ronnie. We wish you the best.
All right, brothers.
Good night, Rapid Ron.
Later.
Oh, man. Do we need that? What do they call that thing? That box that, the producer hits when somebody curses?
Sound box.
Yeah, we need one of those cut out the curse things. Yeah. Whenever Ronnie comes on, we have to have one of those.
We do, yeah.
We got to mute. We got to mute or whatever. Yeah. We got to do something. I mean, he threw some F-bombs in there, and oh, my Lord.
Lordy.
It
wouldn't be Ronnie, though.
I'll tell you what. I mean, this is not a monitored FCC, and thank God it's not. But I'll tell you what. We can't have those F-bombs in here. We can't have those F-bombs, that's for sure. But, entertainment value, his phone calls are worth a whole show, watching the whole show, just, hearing what he has to say and everything. And I may not agree with him on, certain things, and certain things he has a point on and stuff, but I
wouldn't be a shocker. I wouldn't be a shocker though. He does have a good play. I wouldn't be a shocker if the Flyers do something.
I don't think the Flyers are. The Washington Capitals are really, really dangerous.
Anything can happen in the NHL. It's been proven. Anything can happen in sports. You know that.
The Flyers are just don't have what it's going to take to be the king of the mountain. If you look at the Flyers, they don't have what we have.
Oh, I know, I understand that, but at least they have enough to win the Metropolitan, if need be.
Yeah, I mean they could. We'll have to wait and see. So that was our entertainment for the night, right there. That one phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always fun. It's always great. We just have to see how we're gonna, wipe out those F-bombs.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
I mean, I'm loud. I'm a big mouth. But you know what? I have to hold back my cursing. And that's what I do. I hold it back. Many times I want to drop those bombs. Trust me. When somebody gets on my nerves and I have to, increase the volume of my temper, there's tempting times where I want to drop those F-bombs, but I maintain Gullsfraba. Calm yourself down, because it's not worth it. Okay, so that's where I get into the relaxation mode, and I have fun doing what I'm doing, but sometimes you just get idiots out there that just crazy, like the one that today at the bus stop. I'm stopping for the bus. Some moron's coming in behind me, doesn't want to stop, honking their horn at me. I'm like, really? You're going to do that? You're going to honk your horn at me? I'm stopping for the damn bus. You need to stop for the bus as well. Does he stop? No. He goes around.
But that's the joy in what we do in sports talk radio, though. You're going to have interesting viewpoints. You're going to have interesting opinions. But that's what we love doing about this show. Opinions. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Love your opinions.
Everybody has opinions. Everybody, they feel like, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and this team is good and that team is good. And they're going to support their teams regardless. I mean, look at you. You have some weird teams that you root for. I mean, again, with this, just because I live in Tampa Bay doesn't mean that I have to root for the Tampa Bay teams. There's nothing stated in the Constitution that says, you just because you live in Tampa Bay, you have to root for this team or you have to root for that team. Get over that. You don't have to. It's your choice who you decide to root for. You want to root for your birth team when you move into another state? It's perfectly legal. Whether people like it or not, who gives a crap? Who gives a damn about what you think?
Look at me with the Padres and the Chargers.
Yeah. Stick with your team. Stick with your birth team. Stick with the teams you've stuck with. That's the right way to do it. You have that right. And if you want to change and you want to root for the hometown team, that's fine. Me, I don't go to Bucks games. I am not a Buck fan, and I'm not pretending to be. I am not. I never will be. And the same with, what was that baseball team that plays in the cesspool in St. Pete?
The Rays.
Oh, yeah, the Rays. Yeah, the Rays.
The Rays.
They're runners-up. The runners-up of the American League East, again, as usual.
Oh, I got a funny story about baseball, by the way.
I got a funny story. Okay, let's hear that.
I don't know if you heard.
We got a little while.
I don't know if you've heard the story going on out there right now.
Oh boy, here we go.
About what happened in the World Series with the Astros after they got their butts whooped by the Nationals.
Yeah. So
there's a story out there, apparently from Mike Fiers, who is a former Astro pitcher,
right,
saying that
they've used cheating the signs.
No, not the Nationals. The Astros
That's what I
were
said.
cheating.
The Astros are cheating from the signs. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were taking the signs from the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. I mean, kudos to whoever. I mean, I know he's not. I know he's a free agent. I know he don't want to be with the Astros.
Right.
But as a player, though, why would you want to admit something like that?
I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. The Nationals are going to lose Strasburg.
Oh, that's already a given. I think he's going to the Dodgers.
The Astros are going to lose Garrett Cole.
Going to the Angels, his hometown team.
Not so fast there, buddy. Because the Yankees are very much in on Garrett Cole as well. And
so
it's a team that Garrett Cole has stated that he would love to play for.
So your sources say from CC, right? Is that where you're going?
No, it's not just CC. It's a fact.
He wants to go
Everybody said that he wants to go home, and the Yankees have no chance, and nobody has a chance. Garrett Cole himself, in an interview, said, "I never said that. I will listen to the Yankees, of course, because he wants to be a Yankee. He's already said he wants to be a Yankee. He wants to play for the Yankees. So if the Yankees want him really bad, nobody will outbid them, obviously.
They're not going to pony up the money. The Steinbrenner kids have shown they don't want to pony up any more money like their daddy. They've proven that. That's why you guys only signed Stanton to that big deal, and look how it has panned out with him.
Well, he's been injured, so. But anyway, we're going to get off the baseball because this is not a baseball show. But, it's time for those final thoughts. So we're going to pass the round table here. Actually, we don't have a round table.
No, it's a flat, straight table.
It's a flat, straight table.
It's a flat screen table, but I'm going to get
space.
us a round table one of these days. I'm going to have a round table. We're going to have a whole bunch of people around it. Okay, so my producer goes first with his final thoughts.
We appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you go subscribe to that YouTube and the Castbox. We appreciate it all. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great week. Enjoy your evening. Go Bolts. And let's do this.
Okay, now my co-host, Byran, it's your time for final thoughts.
I know the Bucks aren't in a playoff spot this year, but
the Bucks.
How I see it, it was a good game Sunday between two first-round quarterbacks, Murray and Winston. They delivered well.
Two teams that ain't gonna make the playoffs.
It was a close game, came down to a field goal, but it was a good game regardless. Evans almost had another 100-yard receiving game. And honestly, without Evans or any of the receiving, I hate to say it, but Jameis wouldn't be good without those receivers.
He's not that good to begin with, though.
Okay.
He's a big Bucks fan over here. My producer's a big Bucks fan. He even admits Jameis is just not that good.
No.
He's good. He's good only when he has the talent in front of him. When you don't have receivers, then I can see him not being good at all.
You mentioned a very key word there with the capital I.
Inconsistent.
Boom. There you go. Inconsistent.
Well, yeah, it's true. I mean, he's leading the league in interceptions this year. Again.
And you wonder why they are bad as they are. And I can't speak because my team is not doing good either. My team lost to the damn Jets.
Yeah, what happened to that Danny Dimes?
That was horrible.
I don't hear that talk anymore.
That was horrible. That's not Danny Dimes' fault.
Now all the talk is on him, saying that he's the wrong pick over there for you guys.
No, he's not. He's a kid. He's a rookie. No, you don't do that to somebody that is just starting out. Now you got to give him. You got to surround your team. He's got to be surrounded with better offensive and defensive players, and the Giants just don't have it to offer.
What's that word I used earlier? Come on, say it. We can say it. What's that word? What's that word? You know it.
Hey, Giants weren't expected to do anything this year anyway, so.
Still, what's that word? I know you want to say it.
Nope, not gonna say it. Nope.
Admit it.
Nope.
That's what ownership's doing.
Nope.
Admit it.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. The coach is gonna get fired, and the Giants are gonna just have to start rebuilding. They already have their quarterback for the future, and they have a couple of good players, but they need to surround them with better players, and that's basically the bottom line. But we are not going to panic too much because it's possible that we can build like the Yankees did and make it a great team in 1 year, just like the Yankees did. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching the show tonight, and thank my co-host Byron and my producer Mr. Devin. And we will be back on Sunday, and we'll be doing Tampa Bay Lightning news, notes, facts, stats, figures, everything like we always do. And maybe we'll have some news about our future in some of these possibilities that we have. So I'll keep you updated on that. And of course, we need the help with the toy drive boxes, so keep that in mind as well. So for these guys, I am your host of the show, Joe D'Angelo, and we will see you on Sunday. And now I'm going to ask my most illustrious producer to take us out with our theme song. Good night, everybody. See you Sunday.
See you next week.
Oh, so it wants to work.
There it goes.